What if I told you that nearly every major civilization of an era collapsed at the same time? Cities burned, empires vanished, and no one truly knows why. The Bronze Age, which lasted from around 3000 to 1200 BCE, was a period of immense progress. Across the Mediterranean and Near East, powerful civilizations thrived, each leaving a lasting legacy. In Greece, the Mycenaeans built grand palaces and traded with far-off lands. In Anatolia, the Hittites established a powerful empire, while Egypt's new kingdom reached its peak, creating monumental structures and advancing in arts and science. Babylonia, meanwhile, was home to one of the earliest written codes of law. These civilizations were connected by vast trade networks, exchanging everything from food to ideas. Ships sailed the Mediterranean, linking distant lands. Bronze tools and weapons reshaped societies, and the invention of writing systems allowed people to record their histories, their achievements, and their innovations. It was a time of prosperity and incredible technological advancement, but all of this was about to come to an end, as a series of unforeseen events would change the course of history forever. In Greece, the Mycenaeans were at the height of their power during the late Bronze Age. Their civilization was known for its impressive palaces, advanced art, and extensive trade networks. One of the most famous sites of this era is Mycenae, a city of grand architecture, where towering walls and royal tombs spoke to the wealth and influence of the Mycenaean people. But around 1200 BCE, the Mycenaean world began to crumble. The once thriving palaces of Mycenae, Tiryns, and Pylos were destroyed in mysterious circumstances. One of the most striking examples of this sudden collapse is the Palace of Pylos. Archaeologists have uncovered signs of a violent destruction, burned remains, smashed pottery, and signs of a hasty retreat. But the cause? It's still unclear. To the east, in Anatolia, the Hittite Empire was one of the most powerful civilizations of the late Bronze Age. With its capital at Hattusa, located in what is now modern-day Turkey, the Hittites controlled vast territories, from the Aegean coast to Mesopotamia. Known for their military prowess and diplomatic skill, they were one of the major players in the ancient world, even engaging in treaties with Egypt, such as the famous peace agreement with Ramses II after the Battle of Kadesh. However, around 1200 BCE, the Hittite Empire also came to an abrupt end. The once thriving city of Hattusa was abandoned, and the remnants of its walls and structures bear witness to a sudden and violent destruction. Archaeologists have found evidence of fire and destruction, suggesting that the city was burned and the Hittites never fully recovered. In Egypt, the collapse of the Bronze Age had its own unique twists. At the time, Egypt was ruled by the New Kingdom, a powerful and prosperous dynasty that had reached its height under pharaohs like Ramses II, known for his military victories and monumental building projects. Egypt controlled a vast empire stretching from Nubia in the south to the Levant in the north, and it was a center of culture, wealth, and military might. However, by the late 1200s BCE, Egypt began to face a series of unprecedented challenges. The most significant threat came from a mysterious group of invaders. No single event brought down the great civilizations of the Bronze Age. Instead, it was a perfect storm of disasters, one after another, weakening kingdoms until they crumbled. But what exactly happened? A mysterious force known as the Sea Peoples swept across the Mediterranean, attacking cities, burning palaces, and toppling entire empires. But who were they? Egyptian records describe them as fierce warriors, wearing horned helmets, feathered headdresses, and leather armor. They carried round shields and long swords, striking with terrifying speed. Some sailed in warships, while others traveled in massive waves, entire families, tribes, and armies moving together, destroying everything in their path. They fought like no other army of the time, their tactics unpredictable, their origins unknown. Refugees fleeing from disaster? Ruthless raiders? Mercenaries hired by desperate kings? No one knows for sure, but what is certain is that they left destruction wherever they went. The second theory suggests a far deadlier, invisible enemy: climate change. Evidence points to a massive drought sweeping through the region, drying up rivers, ruining crops, and pushing entire civilizations to the brink of starvation. But famine alone wasn't enough to cause the collapse. The third theory argues that with food shortages and economic turmoil, trade networks crumbled, Egyptian grain, Cypriot copper, and vital resources stopped flowing, leaving kingdoms to fend for themselves. The fourth theory suggests that the real threat came from within. Oppressed peasants and starving soldiers turned against their rulers, looting palaces, toppling kings, and tearing down the very foundations of their own empires. So which theory was the true cause? The truth is, it wasn't just one. It was all of them, a perfect storm of destruction. The world had become too interconnected, too reliant on fragile systems. When the first domino fell, the rest followed. The collapse wasn't just the end of an era, it was the beginning of a dark age. Cities lay in ruins, great palaces abandoned, and entire civilizations faded into memory. Greece lost its writing system. Linear B, a script once used by kings, vanished from history. Trade networks once stretching across the Mediterranean were severed, plunging societies into isolation. But from the ashes, new powers rose. The Phoenicians, master sailors and traders, rebuilt commerce and spread knowledge across distant shores. Kingdoms adapted, evolved, and slowly civilization was reborn. But the question remains, how did it all fall apart? Was it war, climate change, economic collapse, or a perfect storm of catastrophe? History has shown us that even the greatest empires are fragile. So could it happen again? Could our world, interconnected and reliant on delicate systems, face a collapse of its own? Or have we learned from the past? Only time will tell. History is full of lessons, and mysteries still waiting to be uncovered. If you enjoyed this journey through the past, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story.